Welcome back. So we started those parts, and is WordPress plugin development, and we have done a large extent to this development. But what we want to do now, we want to do the update aspect. So the updates. The last year we left off, when you display this, you see view. This is to view all the users that register into this service. So how this application is positioned is you have a service created for, due to you want to restrict the number of people that can be in a particular hall. So let's say you have 4 halls, and in those 4 halls you need to have 100. Once that 100 is over for A, it goes to B. Then once you register, and then next you go to C, that way. Now we want to edit the service. Let's say we want to edit the service. So this which is edit. When you click this edit, it takes you, and you can see at this top here where you have up t equals to 4. So if you do also, it takes you up t is equal to what, 2. And you can see this our form, registration form is t here. So what we want to do now, what we have is so straightforward. We have to do those parts. So let's go straight to the code. So we have this already, like we did the last time, getting all the feedback from here and then to this point. So what we want to do now is we want to display this form. This is the form for upload. This form, we want to only display this form if it is not update. So if it is update, it displays something else. If it is not update, it displays something else. So for what we do now is we just come in here and then say let's get our PHP tag, and then we'll do a set. Let's see a set, and we'll get, let's do a get variable. Now we're trying to do a get variable, and that get variable would give us this, that is so UPT, like we did on that on the link. So the UPT, anytime it gets update, which is this, it tends to display that for us. So now this is what will happen. So if we set, sorry, this has to close this, and then this point, and then we'll do S. So S will then display this part. So we'll just close this tag here so that this form, HTML form, can work properly. And yeah, so we didn't put our if statement here. So if this is there, we have this set, and once this is set, we have the set done on it. And so if it has this variable, let it just echo okay. Then if it is not, then it displays all these to these points where we are now displaying results. So in fact, including the results, we don't even want to also get the result. The result should not still be, it shouldn't be part of the record that should come up. So after this, we have it down to this point. At this point, we just do our closing bracket. So what that means is that if it has that get, it only this only comes up, except that this one will come up. So let's see how that displays what happens. So this is it. So UPT is only okay, that's coming up. So if you don't have UPT, you just go straight to this point. You have every other thing showing up. But once you click edit, it's only that page that will come up. So let's put something into this page now. So what do we put into this page? We're getting the form. We're getting back our form. So what will be in the form? Majorly, it is we have the ID already. We just get the ID. Let's go straight to it. We get the ID. Let's say UPT ID. That's for the update. Is equals to the get. This gets ID. Equals to this get ID. So it's UPT. So that's what we're getting here. So that's the ID. So you have the ID. Now we'll do a result. Let's get this out. So what we'll do just call in this variable and then get results. Get results of what are we getting? So we're doing a select. We're selecting all from tables. So table name, we'll confirm if that is a name on it, and where. So let's just capture letter. So we'll start using where ID is equal to this get ID. So this get ID, I'm going to use it for this get ID will be what our ID will be on. Okay, so once we have that set, you can see now we need to confirm this table name. Table name is this. Okay, this is the table name. Sorry, so you're sure of. So let's dump this. Let's dump results. Results. So if we dump the results, what will be the outcome? Let's just refresh and see. So you can see it's getting that where it is equal to 3. If we have 4 here, let's say 5. I don't think is there 5. There's none in 5. You can see the array is empty. But if we go back to this and then we'll click on this one, you can see it's getting the record. So with that, we'll go straight to. We'll use a for each loop to loop our record, and once we loop our record so that we can so we're doing results as print. We used print the last time, so you can use any variable of your choice. So inside of it we have the ID set. So we're getting ID, so we just put this, since that is it. So just put this equal to, we just put in a variable on it, underscore e for edit. So we have print ID, this for ID. So we're doing this for a lot of them. So let's just copy what we have. We did that here. Okay, I think we did it somewhere here. Okay, so let's go back. So we have this. Let's just duplicate it. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, now what next do we need? We need the title. We need the title. We need the title. We need the body. We need the auditorium. We also need the conference. Then we need the banquet, and we need the service day, and also active on, if it's active or not. So active on. So those are the things that we need. So we just have to get this to be it, get this to be it, get this to be this, 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 the body, the title, and then we have our ID. So now we can call in any parts here, we can call this variable and say, okay, is this, is it this, is it? So whatever it is, we just get it, and then we can always work on that. What we'll do now, we just need to create our form. We need to create our form. For me to create our form, I can pick this form. And pick this form since they are almost same, and then we just, since they are same, let's do it and have this. Let's do this and have our form in here. So we're going to edit this form. So if once we come in here now, we can say editing, we can say editing, then we'll call the title. So we can call the title. Call the title, which is title E, right? Title E. This. Once we do this, let's see what happens. Let's save and come back here, refresh. You can see editing simple equation. If we go back, this is testing new plugin. Once you come to edit, say editing, testing new plugin development. So you can see it's showing here. Now we need to input all that into this feed and make it update just this record. For we to do that, we need to go back to our code. And inside the form, let's add the ID. You know, the form will need to know what ID we are calling. So we'll use type, it should be hidden. So it's hidden ID. And inside the ID, we have ID is equal to UPTID. Let's give it the name, same thing, UPTID. And then what is now the value of it? So we'll call the value, and I'm just using this to do a lot of, so to not be IDE, be ID underscore E. Is the ID. So if once we load now, once we load back, you will not see any difference until you check inside of it, and you see this form. This is the form. You can see the ID, and the value in it is 3. 3 is showing here. So it's going to take 3 and update it in the other end. So let's go back to our code. We have our ID written already. Now what do we need next? So let's now start adding the variables into it. So we'll start adding the variables into it. What is title? What is this? What is that? I hope you understand. So okay, I'll just get that done. Let's go there. We have the first is this title. So the title, the value in needs of that title will be the title itself. So let's get this title that we have. We're going to put it into the value. So you can see the value is going to be title. The value for the theorem size sorry, let's use this value here. So whatever we have on it will be auditorium, what did we call it here? Auditorium E. So that's auditorium size, we'll call it here. So that will be the value for it. Let's do same thing for conference room, the value. Same thing for banquet hall, and then the dates we're going to look at that later on, and the body also. Let's just check this. So let's pick the conference room. Let's pick the conference room ID. Let's pick the banquet ID, the banquet value. Input it in the banquet. Here's a banquet. This banquet, yeah. So we have this. Let's just test it and see. We can refresh. You can see the title is inside already. The number here, they are all here for the banquet. So now is the date we're going to check, and then we also check the body to ensure that the body is there, and if it's active or not active, it will also be in here. So for the active and non-active, let's treat that now. Let's treat that active and non-active aspect. So what we'll do here is in here, we'll just do the if. So if print active on is equal to 0, the way we did it the last time. So let us just call status is equal to disabled. This yeah. So we'll do s if status is equal to 1. This is called enabled or active. Then lastly is the s. Lastly is the s, which is making status to be here is going to be closed. So whichever one is going to show in here. So we'll take our status in here, and guess what we need to do? If you know, you can always tell us. So at this point, I'll just get this so that it doesn't take us much of our time, and explain it later on how we arrive at that. So why is it showing this? Yes, okay, this we need to close this. Yeah, so at status point, this is status, you have it here. Yeah, so what are we trying to do? We're saying that we have disable, we have active, and this is a select button. And since you have a select button on, you'll need to get this. So we'll do this. We'll say option. So let's just get an option on it. Short tag, and we'll make it what? Value. Value should be whatever it is on what. The value is going to be the ID. So let's display. Let's take one of these and then just use it to. Okay, so the value is going to be status. So that's where we have active on E. So that will be the ID will be on the value, while you have the. We'll close this so that we can just get the main record. So the record in needs will not be status. So status will now put here, or put status here. So let's see. Now if you do that, you need to make this selected so that the system knows that this is the default record for active. So if it is not, it's O or 1 or closed, whichever one, the ID will be here, which will also go into place. So let's check that now. After doing that, we have it. You can see it's active. Active is there. So that is fine. I think we're having a let me see. I think we don't need this to div. I'm just doing it because I'm seeing here it's showing thank you and it is kind of distorted. Okay, yeah, it's fine. Now you can see it. This get version, this is already here. So that was a div that was having issues. I think this one, yeah. So having that set, we have our form for edit. We'll still need to do some other parts, which is let's get we've gotten the banquet conference auditorium, then the title. Outside title, we have what is left is the body. So for us to get the body, we have to do something now. So this is the body. This is the body. We have settings as equal to this full text area 10 index this, then text area. So we're just escaping it. We're doing all this text down to body, then settings, right? Fine. Now when we say this option, at this point is when you can input whatever record you want. You can see we left it empty, but now we want to input our body, a body E, so that's what will display on it. Let's watch what will happen now. You can see it will come inside of it. So if you don't do it that way, you will not get the body to display in. So someone has typed something previously, wants to edit it, he needs to get that same content, then edit from it. Now you just have it here. If we go back to home and we'll do this one that is long, this 4 that is long, you can see everything is inside, and it's telling you if you want it to be visual, you want it to be, and it's bringing as HTML. Though later on is going to, you can always strip tags. So you can always strip tags. Always strip tags, like the way we did it the last time. So when you do this, you have it 100% in it. You can see it. You have all the content in it. So you can here you update and then submit. If it is disabled, it's going to show you disabled. You see this one is disabled. That's why we're having disabled here. When it is active, you can see it's active that is selected. So now we have the next thing we'll look into is the date. The date is very important. We look into the dates part. It's very important we look into the date aspect. So what do we do next to get the dates to work? To get the date to work, we just need to echo, show you what dates we had previously, and then you can now edit it. So let's just do that. You can see that the date is not being updated, but now we'll make the date updates. So we have this. It said next date, next Sunday date. You know, we calculated the Sunday date when we were creating the form. So we'll try to say, okay, the next Sunday is this date that should be default, but we don't want that date to be default now. We just need our current date to show. So strip to time, instead of this, we just put our Sunday date here. So you can see we just put our Sunday date, service day E. So service day E will be what will display here. So once this displays, automatically it's imputing it into the value and we're good to go. So if you check here, it's 24/01/2020. I hope the date is different. Okay, let's check another one that they have different dates. Okay, this one is 23rd. Let's edit and see. You can see it's 23/01/2020. So if you click change, you always have it different. Yeah, I think we're done with creating this form. Next, we'll look at how we'll upload this form into the database. So we just try to update it. But what we have now, lastly, before we go, I think we should just look at changing this text box, this ID here, this button, instead of new record. Let's make it so that we know. Okay, we'll make it what up submit. So update submit. The name too will be what updates updates update submit. So with that, we know that any part that is coming, and then we'll have, instead of say create, we say update, edit post, or edit service, or edit whatever. So once you do that, also once you are creating edits, it's possible that the person will get in here, say no, I don't want this. He or she can decide to return back to the former button. So for us to do that, it's just very easy. We'll come here, we'll say let's go and copy one of these buttons that we have here. Yeah, let's do this. Let's copy this, and let's come over here and do the cancel part. That's what I want to do. So we can now say cancel, return back, cancel and return. So cancel and return will take you back to, it should be red. It will take you back to admin URL without this ID. So there will be no such ID for us. So this. So here Href is calling this and putting it into this, and let's make this single, and then we're good. So having this set, so we can go back to, you can see either you edit or you cancel. So when you say cancel and return, it takes you back to I just say this. Cancel and return. Okay, let's see href. Okay, let's just copy this. So let's copy this and then put it in there. Let me see. Okay, we're the one calling this, so we can call this and call this. Like that. Let's leave it. Okay, sorry. This is not, there's no PHP in it, so we need to echo this if we want to use this as it, and then if if we want to use this as it is. So as it's here, we can do this, and then here we have this. Yeah, I think we're good. So what we'll do is in here, we can click cancel. It takes you back to the home page where you have your registration form. So you can also decide to do something else, where when you click something, it takes you create new. So you have new here. When you click it, then it displays this. So let us even get that done now. So this form, let it end here. I hope you understand. So let's do this. So we'll do PHP, then we'll close it. This will be the close. So we'll close that form. If it is not, it shows that. If it is, it shows this. But the displaying of it will not be default. So we have to go and then take this off here. So normally the display, it will display this. When we click on new, create new, we'll just have else if. So we'll do else if it's set get this. Let's do this. So else if it's set, you said get new. Let's say new. So we have this new. If it is new, then we see this. If not, we don't get to see this. So what will happen is here where we have display, we just have a button of search. Let's have this button here that will say let's say button primary. Let's move this here, and let us just take it to where you have this and new is equal to true. So once we have this set, let's see what happens. So here we'll just say add new service. Let's go back and view what we've done so far. You can see when you come in, you just see only the service that we added, and then when you click add new service, it takes you to add the service. So this part we're still going to remove it. So what will happen here now is that when you say this, so you say s if this s, so s, this will be the s that will take back this. So let's have this back here. I hope you do understand. If you're having issues, you can see this is it. When you want to create new, it tells you this. When you go straight to it, you get to see the display. When you edit, you get to see the edit only. So I hope you understand. This is quite clean and explanatory. If you have any question, you can always ask. We're here to respond to your question. Thank you very much.